And we're starting with some big breaking news from the chief of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Randeep Guleria, has just told India Today's deputy editor Sneha Mordani that COVID vaccine for children will be ready by September and rolled out by September in India. A big and very, very specific declaration from the AIIMS chief, first and exclusive to India Today. By September, approvals for the first children's vaccine will be through here in India, says Randeep Guleria.
You know, vaccines for children. When will we see the first vaccine for children in the country?
So vaccine trials in India are already going on. Bharat Biotech is already doing the trials, and one is hopeful that the results will be out quickly. I think by September, the data should be out and we should be able to have the regulatory approvals by then. Pfizer has already got FDA approval for their vaccine. And if Pfizer also comes into our country, and since we may accept the FDA approval which has been given by the US regulators, as far as India is concerned, we could also look at that vaccine being available for children. But having said that, I think the priority should be first to decrease mortality and therefore vaccinate the elderly and those with comorbidities first. We all know that children have a milder disease, and therefore if we have limited doses, we must really vaccinate first those who have a chance of having more severe disease and dying of COVID-19.
You do believe that Covaxin's vaccine for kids that is undergoing trials right now may have good enough data by September, and the approval will also be coming by September or sometime around that time?
Correct, that's true.
Also, the Zydus Cadila vaccine is also getting tested on children. Is that vaccine expected after Covaxin, or how do you see the procedure getting panned out in the next few weeks or so?
So that vaccine trial is also more or less over. They're, I think, collating the data. So one is waiting for them to really give their data and get the regulatory approvals. After that, we'll have a clear picture in terms of what the data suggests in terms of its efficacy, safety, and its utility as far as children and adults is concerned.
But the possibility of Covaxin's vaccine, Covaxin for children is you know, before, what I'm trying to ask you is that Zydus probably is going to follow the approval after Covaxin gets it.
That will depend on the data that they have, but hopefully by, let's say, September, we will have vaccines which should be available to children and possibly from more than one source.
Okay, and Covaxin's trials for children by this also involves children above the age of 2 and not just children above the age of 12. Am I correct?
Yes, Covaxin is looking at the trial between children between the age of 2 and 18 years. So this it's even above, not 12 and above, but even 2 to 18.
Sneha Mordani with that exclusive with me live for a quick word on that. Sneha, the first definite sense from Randeep Guleria, no less, about the children's vaccine in India possibly going to be rolled out in September.
Yes, you know, what's extremely important is that we will have a vaccine for kids, and this is not just children above the age of 12, because initially the trials are being carried out among children between the age of 12 and 18, but children as young as 2. Shiv, and this is the recruitment process which is underway at Delhi's AIIMS. Dr. Randeep Guleria, who's also the chief of AIIMS, has said that by September we expect data. Remember, this is going to be phase 2, phase 3 trials, which is underway right now in the country on children as young as 2. And there is going to be data by September, which means that if Pfizer doesn't come before that, we will have the first vaccine for children in India against COVID-19 by September. If Pfizer comes before that, then there will be the process of inoculation starting amongst children even before that, and that I think comes as a sense of, you know, that gives us a sense of assurance given the concerns around children, them not being vaccinated, schools being shut, you know, the government planning to open up schools, having that discussion at least, and offering protection when we know that the virus is going to look for the perfect host. Adults would have been vaccinated and the perfect host would be children. So this, in a way, comes as a big, big relief, Shiv.
Something to look forward to. Very good news. Thanks very much, Sneha, for getting us the latest on the children's vaccine. Now let's get to our spotlight story here on News Track. It's the war of the iconic Sardars in Punjab. Chief Minister Amrinder Singh versus Navjot Singh Sidhu. Well, Amrinder Singh was in the capital today for the second time in the last few days to meet a high-powered crisis committee appointed by Sonia Gandhi to firefight this increasingly vicious face-off between the Chief Minister of Punjab and Navjot Singh Sidhu. Sidhu continues his attacks against Amrinder. The captain has drawn the line, but the gloves are truly off this time. Take a look at the latest.
Title defender Captain Amrinder Singh, Congress heavyweight and powerful Chief Minister of Punjab. Title challenger Navjot Singh Sidhu, cricketer and celebrity Congress Neta, now on the warpath against his new nemesis.
अपनी लड़ाई निजी नहीं है.
Together, this collision is the biggest political tucker of 2021. A potboiler for the ages. An epic super clash between the Sardars, just months before Punjab goes to polls. The festering feud is playing out with frenetic suspense. Captain Amrinder Singh was in Delhi on Tuesday once again, forced to subject himself to the Congress High Command's Crisis Committee for the second time. India Today can confirm that the captain is furious, deeply unhappy with Sidhu's increasingly explicit and belligerent statements against him. Things have rotted to such an extent that Amrinder is said to have presented a dossier against Sidhu to the committee. And despite a whisper campaign, Amrinder is said to be firm that he doesn't want Sidhu to be placated with any post, neither of Congress state chief nor his deputy. The meeting assumes significance in view of Navjot Singh Sidhu's most direct attack on Amrinder Singh, accusing him of thwarting his every bid to reform the system when he was a cabinet minister.
सिस्टम ने एक फट्टी ला थी मेरे ऑफिस के बाहर, मिनिस्टर फॉर रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी एंड पावर. मैं कहता सिस्टम, आई सेड नो, मैं कहता सिस्टम which has rejected all my proposals for the welfare of the people of Punjab, I will reject that system. I said no.
Ahead of his Delhi visit, Captain met with Congress Rajya Sabha MP Pratap Singh Bajwa, a strong critic of the state government, a meeting that triggered speculation that Sidhu would be placated going forward. But 48 hours is clearly an eternity in this ferocious drama, with neither Captain nor Sidhu willing to step away from this fight. There are now only 3 questions. Can both sides be pacified in this high-stakes battle? If not, then who will prevail over whom? And most importantly, will the losing contender stay quiet? Bureau Report, India Today.
So there's no shadow boxing happening anymore, ladies and gentlemen. That was happening for a couple of weeks. Now the gloves are completely off. There are direct pot shots being taken. It's no longer a whisper campaign. This is a fight that's taking place over the television waves. Joining me live, Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson of the Indian National Congress. Abab Singh Grewal is spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. But I'd first like to go to India Today's Rajdeep Sardesai, who's been watching this entire story play out very, very closely. In a moment, we'll also have Rashid Kidwai, who's a senior journalist and observer on this story. Rajdeep, this has been stretching on for the last couple of weeks, and now it has escalated. It's becoming almost a daily, who's going to throw the punch, who won the last round. Today, Amrinder met with the committee for the second time. We hear he was not very happy at being marched to Delhi. In your reading of the situation so far, who is winning? Because ultimately for the person out there, they're going to think which of these Sardars is winning this bout.
I'll come to the winning in just a moment, Shiv. But the fact is, you said, what's been happening the last couple of weeks. The irony is this has been brewing over the last 5 years. This Punjab ka dangal. Sidhu, if you remember, was downsized, or he believed he was downsized by Amrinder in July of 2019 during a cabinet reshuffle. One of his key portfolios was taken away. Few weeks later, Sidhu resigns from the cabinet, and all of this has been brewing. I mean, it isn't as if Sidhu has, hasn't taken pot shots earlier at Amrinder. Now, because the elections are 6 months away, the gloves are off.
He smells blood.
He smells blood. He senses his moment. I think what he senses is, because the elections are 6 months away, because Captain Amrinder Singh is 79 years old, because the Gandhi family is supporting Sidhu, or allegedly supporting Sidhu, he therefore senses a moment to be anointed as the successor of Amrinder Singh. So he wants at the moment either the PCC chief's post or deputy chief minister, and thereby be anointed as the successor to Captain Amrinder Singh. Who's winning this battle? Frankly, at the moment, we don't know. Because Captain is digging his heels in. He knows that he's been pushed into a corner. And the manner in which Sidhu has publicly targeted him means that there is very little space for rapprochement. So my sense is Sidhu is going for broke, and he's decided now or never in terms of taking on Captain Amrinder. And the Congress High Command, because it is so weak at the moment, is unable to decide at the moment which way to go. And that's the irony. I mean, a few years ago, I think there would have been a decisive decision taken much earlier. Now we have a prevarication with Sonia Gandhi unable to really be a 24/7 Congress chief, and Rahul Gandhi having power but no responsibility.
Are you saying then, Rajdeep, that there is no way to placate both of these people before the election gets over, which means that this will just continue to escalate? There's no way to buy time, like, for instance, the way the Congress managed to do in Rajasthan?
Eventually, they will have to find some solution. I don't think in politics there is a situation where there are no solutions. But Sidhu, by the way he's gone now and personally attacked the captain, has made it very clear he's drawn a Lakshman Rekha. So the ball, in a sense,
there's no going back on this.
There's no, because you see, he's attacked your chief minister for corruption. Things that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Akalis say about the Congress government are being said by Navjot Singh Sidhu. So Sidhu is almost the rebel within, the insurgent within, the angry young man. He believes he's more popular than Captain Amrinder. I am told that at least a majority of the MLAs said yes, they are unhappy with Captain's leadership, but a majority equally don't want Sidhu to replace him. Remember, Shiv, there are generations of Congress leaders who've also been waiting for their opportunity. Sidhu only joined the Congress 5 years ago. So this is a clash of generations in a sense. And I think it's a battle of the Sardars as to who will succeed the captain. But it's causing enormous damage to the Congress ahead of the elections.
You were speaking about the leadership. The final question to you, Rajdeep, before I let you go and go to our political guests. A weakened leadership, on television, we like to simplify things greatly, sometimes maybe a little too much. But in the popular perception, perhaps, it is seen that Navjot Singh Sidhu is close to Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka, and Captain Amrinder Singh is close to Sonia Gandhi. How is that working out? Is that causing delays in a kind of resolution?
I think whether you want to put it as Sonia Gandhi versus Priyanka Rahul, I think it's more the generational shift within the Congress. And we've seen it in state after state. The inability of the Congress to resolve their generational issues, to ensure a smooth transition from one generation to the other. We are seeing it playing out in Karnataka in a way. We are seeing it playing out in Rajasthan, as you said. And in state after state, this is the fundamental crisis of the Congress, which is why rather controversially last week I wrote that if Rahul Gandhi wants to assert himself, form his own party. Because you see, you can't be in the Congress and undermine your own chief minister. I mean, because Captain is convinced that Sidhu, in a sense, has the ability to say what he wants because he has the backing, in a sense, of a section of the Gandhi family and the High Command. So if you're going to play insurgent within a party, it's extremely dangerous. How does a party like the Congress resolve this generational issue? It is, I think, at the moment, the reason why the Congress is not able to get its act together in state after state. It's going to have to resolve it. Is this a party of Rahul Gandhi and, in a sense, Priyanka, but mainly Rahul Gandhi? Or is it, in a way, a Sonia Gandhi party? When you had the likes of Ahmed Patel, they could at least bring the two generations together, resolve the conflict.
Yes.
Now even there aren't those people available to the Congress who can bring them together. Mallikarjun Kharge and Harish Rawat, I don't think carry the weight to be able to bring Captain and Navjot Singh Sidhu to a resolution. I am told that Captain, interestingly, went to Ambika Soni, who was once Sonia Gandhi's political secretary, Rajya Sabha MP from Punjab, looking from her for a solution. So there is a generational issue which is being reflected here in Punjab.
5 years this issue has been festering. It has kind of climaxed over the last couple of weeks, and over the next 6 months it's going to be a tantalizing question. Where do the things actually fall? Rajdeep, thank you very much for being with me on segment 1. As promised here on Newstrack, we're going to tell you, before we go to our guests, about Navjot Singh Sidhu. You know, he has spoken out, he's given sound bites, he's taken these direct pot shots at Captain Amrinder Singh. He's been fighting for what he calls bringing a change to Punjab. He's been unable to bring any really change, though, in his own constituency of Amritsar East. His constituents have dubbed him an absentee MLA. Manjeet Sehgal brings you this reality check from Sidhu's home turf, his constituency. A full-blown poster war. Punjab da captain versus Sara Punjab Sidhu Nal. The Amrinder versus Sidhu fight rages on, and while the captain wants action to be taken against his bête noire, it was the Punjab Chief Minister who made Sidhu a first-time entrant, a cabinet minister in 2017. Many senior Congress party MLAs were ignored to placate Sidhu, who remained dissatisfied through 4 years of his stint as an MLA and a Punjab minister. Navjot Singh Sidhu was inducted as a cabinet minister on March 16, 2017. He remained a minister for just 27 months and resigned on June 10, 2019, after his portfolio was divested, as his performance, according to the Chief Minister, was not up to the mark. Sidhu ultimately resigned as a minister and remained absent from his constituency and assembly for the next 1.5 years. During this time, he neither attended the Punjab Assembly nor met the people of his constituency. As an elected representative, you can imagine the message that sent out. Sidhu claims to be fighting for a new Punjab, but hasn't been able to bring about any real change in Amritsar East. With poor roads, heaps of garbage, the constituency is crying for development.
ਵੋਟ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਈ ਸੀ 4.5 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲੇ
सिद्धू नाल
ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ
नहीं भाजी कुछ नहीं किया लॉकडाउन में भी कोई सहायता नहीं की
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਮੋਟੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹੀ ਬਸ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ
ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਦੂਰ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ ਆ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਲਾਕੇ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਪੈਰ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ
From a sports star, Sidhu became a missing poster boy. Not only as a Congress MLA, but Sidhu was also targeted when he was a parliamentarian. His opponents even announced a reward. The missing posters also emerged in Rasulpur Kalar area, where 59 people died after a train ran into a crowd of the Shera revelers on October the 19th, 2018. Sidhu had promised to adopt the families who had lost their breadwinners. The state government had, however, provided jobs to only 34 of the 59 affected families. The opposition also targeted Navjot Singh Sidhu for being absent from his constituency during the pandemic. The other charge against Sidhu is that he's simply power hungry. Chief Minister Amrinder Singh has gone on record to say that Sidhu wanted a deputy chief minister's post with a home portfolio. Sidhu also allegedly has been eyeing the Punjab Congress Committee chief's post. Posters in Patiala speak volumes about his political ambitions. Despite the anti-incumbency against the Congress, the over-ambitious Navjot Singh Sidhu has added to the woes of his own government and party. His personal differences with the Chief Minister have cost his constituents, who are now feeling very ignored. With Manjeet Sehgal, Bureau Report, India Today. All of my guests are with me here on News Track. Charan Singh Sapra of the Congress Party. Charan, I'd like to come to you first. Where do things stand, Charan? This is, clearly not just a nuisance anymore. This is a full-blown political crisis. This is not a shadow play anymore. Explicit attacks are being mounted, between both of these leaders, especially from Navjot Singh Sidhu's side. How is this going to be resolved?
I think, Shiv, probably Rajdeep has explained you quite well the entire scenario of this Punjab ka dangal. But apart from that, let me bring to your notice that the three-member panel, which is quite a senior panel, they have submitted the report to the Congress President. The panel members have met Captain Amrinder Singh today also. They have discussed in detail the organizational issues, the issues of Punjab government, or maybe the manifesto which was there in 2017. A detailed discussion is going on within Congress Party regarding the state of Punjab. Congress Party is serious to win back this state. That's why this exercise is happening.
But
they have met nearly 100
Charan,
leaders
with
from
respect,
Punjab, including the MLAs and
Charan, with the
also.
greatest of respect, while these committees are taking place, while the dossiers are being submitted, your party is bleeding. I mean, you have a powerful chief minister at the helm. You've got this other popular leader, and in the public perception, the party is being allowed to bleed as these two leaders take pot shots at each other.
Let me tell you that now I would like to give you examples of the BJP ruled state also if this is the case. What is happening in Uttar Pradesh between Yogi Adityanath and the
No, that's fair, but are you really saying that it's okay for it to happen in Punjab as well?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the internal matter of Congress Party. You need not worry. And, I don't want to answer the hypothetical questions which you are asking.
Okay.
It won't be appropriate for me, to indulge into some speculation at this stage because the matter is already there with the High Command.
I see Rashid Kidwai smiling because he's the man who really knows what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm going to come to him in just a moment. Ahbab Singh Grewal, if I could come to you, sir. Straight question to you and for the Aam Aadmi Party. Are you in some way waiting for Sidhu to maybe cross over to your party for this upcoming election? Because the Aam Aadmi Party has trained a lot of fire at Chief Minister Amrinder. You haven't said any unkind things about Navjot Singh Sidhu. Somewhere is the Aam Aadmi Party waiting for Sidhu to perhaps be a face for the Aam Aadmi Party?
Aam Aadmi Party is waiting for governance to come back to Punjab. The fact remains that the governance of Punjab has been in a cold storage for a very long time. The mafias have run amok. It doesn't matter which one of these two wins. Punjab has become a loser in the past 4.5 years.
No, but speaking, Mr. Grewal, speaking specifically of Sidhu, I'm not looking for a rhetorical answer. Of course, you're going to say governance.
No, I'm not giving you a rhetorical answer.
I'm saying specifically on Sidhu. Are your doors open for Navjot Singh Sidhu is my question.
As Mr. Kejriwal said yesterday, Sidhu is a leader. This is the internal matter of the Congress. But Aam Aadmi Party is concerned that the fight between these two is costing Punjab. Punjab is suffering because the governance has gone for a toss. Mafias, and Sidhu is not saying anything that is new. Whatever Sidhu said is known to every Punjabi, that there is corruption. The mafias which started during the Akali time are still functioning in full swing. They have a run of the house. Captain has been giving them hints.
I'll tell you why my question doesn't seem misplaced, Mr. Grewal, because you've got Mr. Kejriwal saying we're going to look for a big Sikh face. We can't see Bhagwant Mann anywhere in all these discussions that are taking place, even though he's a prominent member of parliament from there. You haven't said anything, you haven't been attacking Sidhu in a very direct manner. It seems like you're kind of waiting on the sidelines to see where things fall with him.
We are attacking whoever is in power. Sidhu is not important. His own constituents say that he has not been available. He has not been available in Punjab. We are attacking those people who are responsible. We are attacking the people who pushed Punjab to the worst spot in the COVID pandemic. We are attacking the people because of whom the mafias are running amok in Punjab. Sidhu has no power. He's just an MLA.
With the greatest of respect, I'm not saying that the things that you're mentioning are not issues. I'm just saying that for the purposes of this debate, we're talking about an individual in question. All of the issues you just mentioned, Mr. Grewal, please don't get me wrong, are important issues and we will throw light on them. Rashid, welcome. What do you think? How are things going right now? Because, for someone like me who's I have to admit, I'm a novice when it comes to Punjab politics, but it looks like things are getting more vicious and more irreversible as the days progress. How is it looking from the inside, Rashid?
I think, Shiv, it's a storm in a teacup, a pre-election hiccup. The problem with Congress is that it knows it cannot win election without captain, and they need Sidhu, particularly after his stand on Kartarpur Sahib and that kind of appeal that he has for a section of Sikh votes. So a kind of compromise is being worked out, and it's not taking place because both sides are hardening their position. I think for the time being, it's disadvantage Sidhu because he's crossing that Lakshman Rekha of party discipline. I don't think he will act impatient and leave the party or go to Aam Aadmi Party or something like that.
Okay.
But the High Command is not in a position to assert itself because of political situation. It's a fluid political situation.
Very interesting.
See, if the day they get this internal report that captain on his own can make it, they will decide. They will throw their lot behind Captain Amrinder Singh. But so far, they have not got this kind of, internal feedback. And that is the root cause of problem. So a bit of cat and mouse game will continue. I think sometime in October, things will become clear.
Very, very interesting, Charan. Charan, you want to respond to that? There's nothing wrong with it. This is a part and parcel of election politics, that your party is having to play a little bit of cat and mouse. The leadership cannot decide one way or the other because there are political risks right before the election. So you are waiting for some kind of assurance that Captain Amrinder Singh has this in the bag and Sidhu is not going to be some kind of a saboteur in this election before you take a call. That's what this crisis committee is about, Charan.
Shiv, the evaluations have to be done about the current situation, and maybe the High Command must be undergoing that process of evaluation. But as far as the Punjab elections are concerned, let me tell you very frankly that the elections will be contested on the issues of the state and also how the government has worked over there. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party, the spokesperson was talking, let me remind him that they should first keep their flock together. Already 3 MLAs have left Aam Aadmi Party and
joined the Congress. Absolutely.
Another 3-4 are ready to join Congress. So they should concentrate on their party. They should keep their flock together. Don't worry about Congress party. We'll take it ahead. And
no, but it's not wrong for the Aam Aadmi Party to look to gain from, the internal turmoil of the Congress, because that is something that, any political party would do. Am I right, Mr. Grewal? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. No party would admit that. You will say that it's an internal problem of the Congress, but the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping that this bruising battle between the two iconic Sardars of Punjab will be advantage up.
Well, when this battle basically, what happens is when this battle is basically damaging Punjab, when Punjab is suffering, our main concern is, obviously, it is their internal matter. They can take it anywhere. They can do whatever they want. But what Sidhu is saying, 70-30 or 70-30, what Sidhu is saying that the people running mock, and when Captain Amrinder Singh takes a dossier of 40 MLAs to Delhi Darbar and says that I've got 40 MLAs who are corrupt, I've got these people who are corrupt. It is a very sad state of affairs. The fact remains that as of now, I was surprised when I heard the Congress spokesperson talking about the 2017 manifesto 5-6 months or 7 months before the 2022 elections. Basically, the manifesto was just a piece of paper which has to be dusted now and brought out again. So the sufferer is Punjab. They are not iconic in any way. You've heard Sidhu, you've heard about people talk about Sidhu in his constituency. Mr. Maharaja Saab has not stepped out of his palace except to go to Delhi ever since the pandemic broke.
But
so how are they
the
iconic?
irony
They are
is
basically
what
Punjab
you've
is
just
suffering.
said. What you've just said about Sidhu's constituency is perhaps the most direct thing any Aam Aadmi Party leader has said about Sidhu in the last few weeks, which is interesting. But Rashid, coming back to you, Charan, I see your hand. I'll come to you in just a moment. Rashid, is there any kind of compromise formula that's possible right now before the elections? You said it's a storm in a teacup. It's also true that the dogs of war have been released. There's no going back on the things that have been said from each camp. You know, direct allegations of corruption have been leveled by especially Sidhu's side. We've seen what Amrinder Singh has also said to the committee. He's apparently submitted some dossiers against him. So the ill temper of this face-off is such that it cannot be dialed down quickly. In your view, is there some kind of compromise formula that can buy time for the Congress?
Absolutely, there is a lot of scope for compromise simply because Mr. Navjot Sidhu is not playing from the position of strength. Remember, he was part of BJP, he left that BJP, so that option is remote. And last time around, around 2017, his negotiation with the Aam Aadmi Party fell through. So if he'll join Aam Aadmi Party, if at all, then that won't be from a position of strength. So, and Captain knows this. Captain's only problem is age is not in his side. You know, the 79 years, and he cannot, so far he's not been able to assure the Congress leadership how he's going to win, how he's going to return to power. Now, this is something that is keeping this entire thing, you know, sort of boiling.
Yes.
Otherwise, things would have settled down maybe 2 weeks ago. So, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, they are biding time. They're just assessing situation. And once they get this kind of impression that the Congress is going to make it, you will see there will be swift action.
Okay, swift action will come once there is that reassurance. Yes, Charan, go ahead. The point you wanted to make. Let's not make this AAP versus Congress. I wanted to focus on these two leaders because of limited time. Yes, Charan, go ahead.
See, there is no such situation in politics, you know, where there is no solution. And I believe that impossible is the word in dictionary of fools. So definitely some arrangement will be worked out, some solution will be worked out. The entire Congress party, including the High Command and the people of Punjab, they all are worried that some solution should come, because people of Punjab are also seeing that BJP is of no use, they have no relevance in Punjab. Aam Aadmi Party's relevance has reduced as far as the municipal corporation of Panchayat elections are concerned. The farmer agitation is going on. The only party in Punjab, you know, which can rise and take people ahead, the movement of people ahead, is the Congress party.
Okay.
People have no belief on the Shromani Akali Dal also. Because the way Shromani Akali Dal has been acting, they were with BJP, and when the farmers bill was passed in the cabinet, nobody
I'm out of time. I'm out of time, but
so people are watching all the situations over there in Punjab.
I just want to end the debate. Ahbab, I'm very sorry, but we're out of time, so I'll have to wrap things up here. But I just want to end by saying,
small question: will Sidhu be okay? Will Sidhu be all right, happy when he is made deputy CM? Will everything get in place? Will everything be hunky dory if Sidhu is made deputy CM? That's my only question.
But he's already said that he's not interested in any berth, so that's the reason why the pitch has been completely queered, and that's the reason. That is the reason. I'm out of time, but that is the reason why the question is so tantalizing. Rashid says compromise formula definitely has scope, but that is the question. What is that compromise formula going to be? Will Sidhu be placated even though he's not speaking from a position of strength? We've just shown you how unhappy Sidhu's constituents are in Amritsar. That is another reality that must be taken into account. Thanks to Rashid, Ahbab and Charan for joining me on the debate here on News Track. Well, it isn't just in Punjab that the Congress is facing a leadership crisis. It's brewing big time in Karnataka as well. A shadow war has been raging between former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and the charismatic party chief D.K. Shivakumar, who wants to be the next Chief Minister. Both are vying to be the Chief Ministerial face the next time Karnataka goes to the elections in 2023. A selfie on Rahul Gandhi's lawns. A bright sunny day in the national capital. The man on your right smiles grimly. The man on your left, well, his feelings are hidden by that mask. Nothing is as calm as this image suggests, you see, because Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivakumar isn't in Delhi on holiday, and he definitely isn't in a good mood. DK, as he's called, met Rahul Gandhi for desperate reassurance that DK alone will be the Congress's chief ministerial face in the 2023 Assembly election. Ever since DK Shivakumar was appointed Karnataka's Congress president in March last year, a vicious shadow war has raged over who will be the Congress's chief ministerial candidate in the 2023 election. A clear rift divides the Congress, with cadres and MLAs sitting in two camps, the DK camp and that of former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Amidst an eruption of comments from MLAs naming Siddaramaiah as the chief ministerial face, DK Shivakumar was forced to issue a new directive instructing party colleagues to refrain from projecting anybody as the next chief minister.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತದೆ ಈಗ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾವ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಈಗ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಬಯಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ಬಯಸ್ತೀವಿ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ ಬಯಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಮತ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
No one will be the chief minister candidate at this point of time. We will not allow anyone to be announced. It is the Congress party culture is there. It is a collective leadership. We will fight the election on collective leadership. My party high command will decide who has to be the leader.
But things have escalated so much that DK felt the need to dash to Delhi for a meeting with Rahul Gandhi. With a fire raging between Congress leaders in Punjab, these two top leaders of the party sparring in Karnataka, the Congress's cup of woes is absolutely spilling over.
Apart from Punjab and Karnataka, at least 5 more states, Rajasthan, Kerala, Assam, Gujarat and Jharkhand, are witnessing chaos quaking the Congress party. The challenge is once again on Rahul Gandhi's leadership. Can he unite his generals and get them to focus on the real fight?
Or will the turf wars and power politics be allowed to erode whatever little strength the Congress has managed to accrue since 2014? With Anand Patel in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And coming up next, a day after India recorded over 86 lakh vaccinations in a single